During this past winter, if you've noticed a little draft coming from your window, you may be looking to replace one of those drafty windows with a newer, nicer, and more efficient one, and now is the only time to do it. Joining me now from West Haven Lumber are Brian Vandal, the general manager, and Bruce Cirillo, the sales manager. Guys, thanks for joining us here today on CP Style.
Happy to be here.
Let's talk real quickly about the difference between a window that has a draft and doesn't. Of course, it's pretty obvious if it has a strong draft and you can feel it. But are there some things that you can do to find a small draft in a window?
Typically, one of the things to look for is drapes moving.
That's true.
Sitting in front of a window, your neck feels cold.
So you don't have to be Captain Obvious. You just kind of feel it. That's the only way. So there's no secret scientific way of doing it.
You might want to try the match trick and put a match up to the
that's smart.
The edge of the windows and see if you see any flickering of the flame.
It's a good idea. And then you guys brought some window frames here. Why don't we talk about this one here? Tell us what we got going on.
This is a new construction window, 400 series, or in replacement, it would be a full frame replacement window, which basically the entire window that was existing would come out. You'd have to re-side around it. You'd have to recase the inside. So it's a little more work with a full frame.
A little more money?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now how much money can you save, though, by getting a new window? Because I'm assuming if you have a pretty bad draft, by putting one of these bad boys in there, you could probably save a lot of cash.
And typically, the difference is the insulated glass. A lot of these old houses have single pane with a storm window on it. The efficiency of double pane compared to that is a huge difference that you're not only in your heating bills, but you'll also have sound.
Oh, okay.
Many people who put replaced windows in, they say, I can't hear the cars running in front of the house anymore. That's
something I'm sure a lot of people take for granted. And then how about if you're living more in central Connecticut or down at the shoreline, maybe on the beach? How do those things factor in?
There's different windows that are required along the coastline. There's certain design pressures that the windows have to be built up to. And Andersen makes DP upgrade windows that will upgrade that product to be used along the coast. There's also, in some areas, a requirement of impact glass.
For storms and
if you have a hurricane and there's all kinds of things flying around and it breaks a window, it prevents that object from completely smashing the window, and you have
costing you a lot of money.
Now your house becomes pressured and blows things, blows the roof off or things that you see.
Reducing any interior damage.
That's very important, and as you can see in this room, there's a lot of nice things in those rooms. Like that painting, you wouldn't want to ruin that painting by something flying in there. How about this window that we have next to you? Tell us a little bit about this one.
This is an insert replacement window. So if your existing window, frame-wise, is in good shape and is square, which many windows are, this window would insert into that existing opening. It fits into the pocket where the sash were in. Basically, you don't have to touch the siding on the outside. You don't have to recase the inside. So it's a much simpler install with much less invasive.
A little more cost-effective too.
Yes, it is, and it's quicker. You're in and out of the job quicker because you're not doing all kinds of siding work.
So this seems like the better solution for somebody who already has an existing home. This might be better for a new home.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. There you go, Captain Obvious again here. With all of your window needs there. Now let's talk a little bit about when you guys install this stuff. I was telling you earlier how a few years back in my condo they put in new windows. And we have dark brown molding, and then they put in these windows, and they're completely white, kind of like this, and it just looks bizarre. What do you guys do to make sure that the home still looks nice and everything looks like it fits in place?
Well, as far as Andersen goes, it's available with a raw interior that can be stained to match any interior. It's also available pre-finished from the factory. There's different species of wood that are available on some of the windows, so there's a lot of options so that they could have matched your windows in that replacement. Oh,
well, there you go. And you have an upcoming event. It's going to be a lot of fun, right?
Yes, we do. We have an Andersen Trade Expo geared to our contractor customers, and we are asking them to contact West Haven Lumber Company prior to April 10th.
Okay.
RSVP, space is limited.
All right.
203-933-1641, and speak to any of our sales staff. They'll be happy to take the information.
All right, fellas, thanks so much for joining us here today on CT Style. Again, West Haven Lumber. Make sure you guys check them out. And don't go away, because coming up next, we have the results of Style Spin alternate ending. Maybe we'll be hiding behind windows. Who knows?